What is your notion of God? I think even atheists have some idea of what God might be like. Most people in the Western world, and indeed in the Eastern cultures as well, have a view of some supreme being, whether it's an almighty supernatural being or the highest of the natural order. Take your pick. The point is that you probably have an impression of what God is or who God is. It's an important question because not only are people prepared to die for their version of God, they're prepared to kill for their version of God too. And God, perhaps, has been the single most divisive concept on this planet for the last 6,000 or 7,000 years. Indeed, so has organised religion. Organised religion, unfortunately, has got a lot of people nowhere and a small number of people to dizzy heights of power. You must realise that an organised religion that says that you can't get in touch with God except through them is really jerking you off, really taking the piss out of you. Because if you look at what the Gospels say, if you look at what Buddha says, if you look at what the Quran says, if you look at what the Zohar says, we're all children of God and we all have a direct connection to God. We're all an integral part of God. If you look at that from the perspective of modern science, you will find quantum physicists say exactly the same thing. We're all part of an underlying entity that controls the order of the universe in which we live, and that manages the energy of the universe in which we live to respond to the energy we put into that universe. So we're talking about a scientific concept of God, I suppose. It doesn't matter what your concept of God is. God, in the form of some form of energy that responds to your intentions and expectations, as sure as I'm sitting here, exists. All you have to do is direct your energy towards that receptive, responsive energy of the universe, and you will get what you want out of life. There are numerous examples of it. There's anecdotal evidence, but there's a huge amount of scientific evidence too. So, regardless of your concept of God, regardless of whether you're prepared to live, die, or kill, or be killed for your concept of God, regardless of which camp you fall into, do you really believe in your concept of God to the extent that you can get what you want out of life? Do the results that you have to date prove that you believe in God? Because the only way you can actually judge whether God is looking after you or not, or whether you actually believe in his ability to look after you or not, is by the results that you have to show for it. If you're not 100% happy with your life, then I suspect you don't believe as to the extent to which you should. Now, belief is a set of pictures that we have in our subconscious mind. Psychology tells us that. Really what you need to do in order to believe, in order to get what you truly want out of life, in order for God to actually fully respond to your intentions and expectations, is to focus that subconscious mind of yours on the things that are truly momentously important to you. And then you will find that God is a responsive God. God is a God that actually responds to all your expectations, all your intentions. All you have to do is believe. And believe is done by focusing your subconscious mind. There you are. It's as simple as that. Why aren't so many people doing it? Well, I think unfortunately evolutionary psychology would insist that we've backed ourselves into a corner where, at this point in time, we really don't believe in anything at all. You've got to get up off your backside. You've got to start working that mind of yours in your favour, rather than having that mind of yours work against you, as most normal minds do. You have to start, as I said, focusing your subconscious mind, and in focusing your subconscious mind, you will get what you want out of life.